What's up, YouTube? It's me, the artisanmc, and today I'm going to review for you Blue Eye Samurai Episode 2. Now, not a lot happened in this episode, but it gave you a bit of backstory on Mizu, the protagonist, and some of the other characters in this. And the story opens up with Mizu traveling to the next village on her path of revenge and being unwelcomely joined by Ringo, the large, handless guy who made noodles at one of his little spot at his farm. And Ringo wants to actually be trained by Mizu. Now, Mizu does not want this company. She has her mission. She's on her mission of revenge, and she knows it's dangerous, and she doesn't want anybody with her. But Ringo insists and keeps following her. And by following her, they end up in a small village on the coast so they can get a ship, or excuse me, a boat, and travel the next leg of the journey. Now, while this is going on, you get follow up and some catch up to what's happening with a couple of other people, namely Taigen. Now, Taigen being the best student at the dojo, I think it was the Shinto dojo, that Mizu fought in the last episode, Taigen is really dealing with his loss. Really admiring the cut because she cut off his top knot, which means he's lost his honor in a sense and lost, and he's really trying to figure out how to deal with it. Now, his fiance devises a fairly creative way to try to get his mind off of that and understand that it is not a dishonor because the blue-eyed monster did not fight honorably. And through that, Taigen understands that he can get his honor back if he finds Mizu and kills her. He will regain his honor. So instead of staying there with his fiance, I forget her name right now, he sets off to follow Mizu to the only location she could be going with her stated goal of finding this particular guy. So he sets off in pursuit of her. Now, also on the trail of Mizu are the Four Fangs. And you see the Four Fangs showing up to Ringo's father's restaurant, asking questions and trying to find information on the direction that Mizu had headed in. Now, what's interesting about the Four Fangs is that these are killers. These are flat out killers. And in this scene, you get to see exactly that. That when a couple of the patrons, say something to the Four Fangs about disrupting their dinner with these questions, the leader of the Four Fangs just gives the nod, and two of the members go over there and cut these dudes into bloody sushi. I mean, for real, no questions asked. They're just dispatched. Right now, they get their questions answered pretty rapidly after that, and then they set out in the direction that Mizu could be traveling. Now, the flashbacks that happened during this time is of Mizu when she was younger with her master, the swordsmith, and the man who comes to get a sword made, with a story of wanting to kill the samurai that killed his father. He is just a humble bookbinder. And this is apparently the first time that Mizu was actually able to make a sword, that she is tasked by the swordmaster to use the hammer on this sword. Now, the swordmaster is not overly believe in this guy. Something is off about him, and he feels that. But he has Mizu make the sword anyway. And in making the sword, a flaw is found. And if you have ever seen Forest and Fire, you understand how there can be flaws in a blade. And while crafting the blade, the flaw is discovered in the front part of the blade breaks off. Now, from Mizu's time with her swordmaster, setting up to make this blade, she happens to witness this customer using his, piece of bamboo out in the yard, and sees that he's kind of skilled. Not what he told the swordmaster. And in Mizu trying to mimic his movements, they do a little sparring, and the sparring turns very brutal very quickly. That this guy is obviously very skilled and has no qualms about taking down somebody smaller than him. Now, once Mizu works on the sword is broken, and then the sword master presents the sword to the man. They discover that the man reveals that he is not who he said he was. That he is actually, in fact, an assassin. He has killed many people. And having a blade, broken or otherwise, from this sword master will increase the money that he makes on the kills that he does. So he leaves. Now this gives you the realization of the Mizu's character that, one, this guy kind of figured out that Mizu was not necessarily a boy. And the other thing is that Mizu tries to hide the fact that she is not a boy by taping her breasts down very tight and trying to purge impurities from herself. Now, back in the present time, Mizu and Ringo split up, and Ringo is in this city that is having a festival. And while they are waiting for their boat to be ready the next day, Mizu goes up in the mountains to train. Ringo stays down with the people of the city and gets to discover more about this city and its people and its traditions and what the festival is all about. Now, while up in the woods, Mizu does some training. And during that training, you get to see her do a move which I would consider her Karate Kid move in this. Now, it does not look practical at all. Then again, this is anime, but it doesn't look like a practical. But while she's doing that, unbeknownst to her, she is being watched. And she is being watched by Tiger, who has followed her trail and tracked her to this city. And he is watching from the bushes, waiting for his opportunity to actually challenge and attack. Now, while Mizu is here training and resting and reflecting on who she wants to kill, why and whatnot, when the festivities start down in the city, when she decides to go down, she's met by the Four Fangs, who have followed Kaigen's trail and Mizu's trail all the way to the city. And this is where you get to the action in this episode, where you have Mizu facing off against the Four Fangs, these four samurai. And it's a kind of interesting fight, especially after the last one, because these people are here to kill her. They're not here just to fight. Now, the battle does range from above in the woods down below to the seashore. And people are cut down in some very impractical or very daring ways. But by the time you get down to the bottom, the descent has a and Mizu is taking damage in her shoulder and her arm. She ends up face to face with the leader of the Four Fangs, and it is revealed to be the guy from her past who she made the broken sword for. Now, I kind of guessed this up front because they were showing this in this guy, and I'm not remembering his name right now, and it doesn't matter. Dead now. But she realizes that this is the same guy, and in fact, he still has the broken sword with him. And Mizu and this gentleman face off. And during the face off, Mizu is distracted by somebody out the corner of her eye running to hide behind a rock, and she is actually cut along the midsection. Now, while for most people this would be the end, she holds it together a bit and able to finish off her foe in a very convenient kind of way. Be that as it may, once she finishes that fight and tries to leave, she is confronted by Tiger. He was the one hiding behind the rock, and he pops out from behind the rock and kind of wants to challenge her. And being ready for the challenge, she goes to run for the guy and passes out. So now Tiger is left with a dilemma: whether to kill her dishonorably while she is down, or not to kill her while she's down. And that pretty much ends the episode. So like I was saying, there wasn't a lot that happened in this episode. Flashback, a lot of people walking in the same direction to get to the same one place, and then action. Not much is happening, but some of it is still cool, and some of it is still like, that's some Mary Sue shit still. And that's what it seems like I'm dealing with in this. It's like most of it is so good that I kind of gloss over, kind of giving a pass on a little bit of the Mary Sueism that happens with this character. Yes, the character does take her bumps. She gets cut, she gets slashed. It's not just a straight up and down, I walked in, I walked out fight. It does seem like in this episode she's working for a little bit, but at the same time she's still a little better than the people who should be better than her, which is still rubbing that Mary Sue for me. But overall, I'm still enjoying the show. It's only the second episode. I'm about to start the third episode now. But I wanted to get this in and let you guys know that I am enjoying the series. It is worth a watch. It does look beautiful. The animation still holds up in the second episode, just like it did in the first. There could be more that I could say about this, but I'll go over that on the show talk. I'll go over here in you guys' it's turn. So, with that, I will go on to the third episode. Appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe. Support the stream if you feel so inclined. I'm artisanmc, and I will see you next time. Peace.